So I know a lot of you are like, everybody gets rejected at some point in their life. Why is getting rejected from law school a red flag? Well, it was a red flag for me because I didn't actually take the time to sit and think about, is this what I really wanted? Or, why did I get rejected? I just had to get back on track because in my mind I had took a detour. And so in order to make sure that these schools understood that I was serious, I decided to go get my paralegal certificate. And that way they will see that I really want to go to law school because I'm going, to get my paralegal certificate. So I did that. I got my paralegal certificate and I put that on my application when I reapplied to law school. And you know what? I got in. And so now in my mind, I felt like, yes, I'm back on track. So I got into law school, and law school was really difficult. It was an experience, but it was nothing like what I thought it was. And of course, because this was not my passion, this was not what I was meant to do, there were a lot of these things right here, red flags. I think one of the biggest red flag for me was that when a girl's father got sick and she couldn't come to class all the time, one of the students in the class said, "Oh, I hope she doesn't drop out. I hope she just continues to stay on the roster because that keeps the curve high." And for me, it just didn't gel right with me. I knew that law school was kind of cutthroat, but this is like a loss of humanity. You know what I mean? Like, I just couldn't get behind that, and I was just like, I can't do it. And so, but I stayed in it because this was what I thought I wanted to do. So I stayed in it, and I stayed in it, and I stayed in it. And with all of the other things that were going on, I got sick. I ended up getting sick in my second year, and I had to take some time off. And when I took that time off, I'm like, are the people thinking the same thing about me? Are they saying, "Oh, I hope she doesn't drop out. I hope, we would need to keep the curve higher"? And so I actually took the time to think, like, is this what I want to do? And with all of the other things that was happening, I realized that being in law school was not what I really wanted to do. And so I had to think about, on this time that I had, what I wanted. And so what I really wanted to do, and what I always wanted to do, was to write. I always wanted to write, and so I was good at it. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to get my master's degree in writing. See, I had a plan. When I went and told my dad, he was like, "Wait, you're dropping out of law school? You're going to be a writer? What?" What that means is I'm going to have to take care of you my whole life. And, that was really hurtful, but I was like, you know what? This is what I did. This is what I want to do. And I've already gotten into a program, so you don't have to worry about it. I told my mom, and she cried. And you know what? It was what I wanted to do. So finally, I was on a path that was meant for me, that I chose for me, and I was happy about it.